several journalists linked to the news portal NewsClick have been raided by the Delhi police since early this morning. Some of them have also been taken to a police station. The police have filed a case under the stringent anti-terror law, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. More details are expected. So far, what we know is laptops, computers, hard disks and mobile phones. Several gadgets of the journalists linked to the portal have been taken by the police during the raids. The raids come in the backdrop of a recent controversy where NewsClick is alleged to have received dubious funds from American billionaire Neville Roysingham to spread Chinese propaganda. This is, of course, early days into the investigation. Let me go across to my colleague Arvind, who is joining us on this. Arvind, what are the details we have gathered so far?
Tanima, what our sources are saying is that Delhi police has registered a fresh case based on the information that was shared by the Enforcement Directorate. The Enforcement Directorate is already looking into the funding of NewsClick, which is a digital platform. So based on the information that has been shared by Enforcement Directorate, now the Delhi police has registered a fresh case. That information we were able to confirm from our sources. And what we are also being told is that almost 30 locations are currently being searched by the Delhi police personnel. This particular case is currently being handled by a special police. And what we are also being told is almost a dozen journalists have already been, their electronic gadgets have already been taken by the Delhi police. And for now, no arrests have been made. For now, what we are being told is that they have been called for investigation. Their statements are being recorded. And for now, only the search process, which is currently underway, which is just taking away their electronic gadgets, just seizing their mobile phones, laptops, etc. for further investigation. That's what we are being told by sources. We are not sure what this case particularly means because we did reach our sources both in Delhi Police and also Enforcement Directorate, though we have been given this basic information that this particular information was shared by Enforcement Directorate. Tanma, if you could go back and see what this particular investigation that was started by Enforcement Directorate. This case pertains to alleged funding by some people linked to China in order to propagate a Chinese ideology or Chinese news. That was the allegation based on which the Enforcement Directorate initiated an investigation. The Enforcement Directorate, during the course of investigation, also revealed that NewsClick got funding to the tune of somewhere around 35 crore, and NewsClick used it for other purposes also. And according to the Enforcement Directorate, NewsClick did share some of these funds with Teesta Setalvad and also Gautam Navalkar. That's the information that the Enforcement Directorate had leveled against NewsClick, and people associated with NewsClick were also questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with this particular case. Subsequent to this New York Times story.
Right, yes, Arvind, that New York Times report, as we know, as you're saying, that the Enforcement Directorate is already looking at certain angles, especially related to the funding here of this portal. But for our viewers, I know you touched upon that in your answer, but if you could just explain to us a little bit more further about this China funding link, which is connected to NewsClick, and what we know in terms of what the ED has found so far and how this leads up to the raids that we're looking at today.
If you could see the Enforcement Directorate, the Enforcement Directorate during the course of investigation, they had found almost around 35 crore funds have been received by NewsClick from various people, companies linked to China. That's the basic allegation that the Enforcement Directorate leveled against NewsClick. And if you could remember, the Delhi High Court has already stayed the investigation of the Enforcement Directorate in connection with this NewsClick company. And that's where now a new case has been registered, because the Enforcement Directorate probe is not going forward, because the Delhi High Court has already stayed this particular investigation, and the Enforcement Directorate has subsequently filed an application also with new evidence that what they have found in order to vacate that stay. What we are now being told is that during the course of the investigation, the agency has also got to know that this particular fund that NewsClick received from all this alleged dubious people or firms, entities linked to China, that particular funds have also been shared with other people who are already under investigation. One such case is Gautam Navalkar. So, though we are reporting that the Delhi Police Special Cell has invoked UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, what our question is that NIA has the original jurisdiction and they are under UAPA. Why is Delhi Special Police invoking this particular case, not UAPA, something that we are yet to get clarity from our sources. But again, there is a direct link that the Enforcement Directorate itself has found that NewsClick has shared some of the funds with Gautam Navalkar. Gautam Navalkar is already under investigation under UAPA. So that is the link for UAPA here also, though we are yet to confirm whether this is the link that the enforcement, that the Delhi police is currently probing. Because one thing for sure, we have confirmed from both ED and Delhi police top sources that it is based on ED's information that the Delhi police special cell has registered a fresh case. And what we are being told is that more details will be shared at appropriate time, because now only the search operation is currently underway, which is almost at around 30 places across NCR.
Right. Arvind, stay with us for the benefit of our viewers. Let's just sum up a couple of points that we've been discussing. And if they're joining us right now, what's the news break that we are bringing for our viewers? There are raids which are underway currently in the National Capital Region, being led by the Delhi Police's special cell on journalists connected to the news portal NewsClick. What we do know so far is that several gadgets, phones, laptops of these journalists have also in fact been taken by the police during these raids. And it's the larger backdrop of being funded from China, the Chinese funding controversy, which seems to be at the foundation of these raids. Several journalists have also been taken to police station, to the Delhi Police Special Cell's office for questioning. There is no arrest yet. That's what we know so far. But very importantly, as Arvind pointed out, that the very stringent anti-terror law, UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, a case seems to have been registered under that section. Let me go back to my colleague Arvind. Arvind, the name Neville Roy Singham seems to be connected to this entire matter as well. If you could just, for the benefit of our viewers, shed some light on this very mysterious US millionaire who seems to be connected to this entire controversy.
Yeah, Tanima, in fact, that's what the Enforcement Directorate investigation revealed. According to the agencies, this particular individual, through his companies, he started giving funds to NewsClick, and NewsClick, according to them, after the funds that NewsClick got received from this particular entity, that NewsClick started doing pro-China stories. All these are allegations that are being leveled by Enforcement Directorate. And it is Enforcement Directorate, if you could remember, Enforcement Directorate started this investigation way before even the New York Times reported anything on this. Enforcement Directorate probe started almost 2 years back. They did search the premises of Bukeyasta. They did record the statement of Abhisha Sama. All those people linked to NewsClick were summoned by the Enforcement Directorate, and their statements were recorded by Enforcement Directorate, because according to Enforcement Directorate, the NewsClick received almost 35 crore from, according to them, dubious sources, and those funds, where all NewsClick used those funds, those people connected to NewsClick who all received as salary or as whatever it is called, all those people were called by Enforcement Directorate. Their statements were recorded by the Enforcement Directorate. But subsequently, when Bukeyasta moved Delhi High Court stayed that investigation, and the Enforcement Directorate couldn't proceed ahead with that investigation. And that's why now, based on the information that what Enforcement Directorate has gathered during the course of the investigation, now the Enforcement Directorate has shared with Delhi Police, and Delhi Police has registered a fresh case. Now this will become the basis for Enforcement Directorate to initiate one more case under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, because we are not sure. We are not 100% sure whether UAPA has been invoked for now, because we are not getting any confirmation on that particular point alone from our top sources in Delhi Police, because they are saying that the investigation is still just started, so they are asking us for some time to start. But nevertheless, even if UAPA is not there, even if other sections are there, that alone will be enough for Enforcement Directorate to initiate a fresh PMLA case. So we have to wait and watch how this case progresses during the course of the day.